Shoot your arrows! Cooper Kupp plucks it out of the air and gives the Rams the lead. Robert Woods, touchdown! LA! Dog goes crashing into the end zone. Aaron Donald almost beat the football there. Corey Littleton, have yourself a day. Picked off. Marcus Peters coming off the edge. And Ryan will be wrapped up by Clay Matthews. Everett in stride! Wow!
Franklin Myers gets his hand down there.
Leno got a hand on it. Did he pick it? He did!
Racing down the sideline is a key to lead. Gurley for MVP! Touchdown LA!
Picked off by John Johnson.
Well, Dante Fowler, who is able to get to breathe. Greg Zuerlein sends the Rams to the Super Bowl! LA will play for the Lombardi!
Welcome back, guys, to another Downtown Rams podcast. It's episode 205. I'm your host, Jake Ellenbogen, and joining me is Alexis Kraft, as always. And today we have two draft season podcast interviews. We have SMU cornerback Jordan Wyatt, and we have USC cornerback Isaiah Langley. We hope you guys enjoy, but as always, if you like what you hear, be sure to subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. And it was a lot of fun, so enjoy the rest of the show. Thanks, guys. All right, joining the show, we have Jordan Wyatt, SMU cornerback. How's it going, man? Thanks so much for coming on.
Man, appreciate y'all for having me. How y'all doing today?
We're good. How are you?
Doing good. Can't complain.
Yeah, we're so excited to talk to you. And just to start this off, we just kind of want to learn a little bit about how you got into the game of football.
Oh, okay. Growing up, my daddy had always wanted us to play basketball because he played a little ball at Eastfield. He played some basketball in high school at South Oak Cliff. And growing up, we was a huge basketball family. My mom played a little bit of basketball. So, I want to say around like the sixth grade, I started playing a lot of football, like outside, just typical kids just playing football for fun outside in the backyard. And I'm like, man, I actually want to try this in full pads for once because, I see it on Sundays. I see it college football, I just wanted to try something different. And I told my parents I wanted to play football, and they looked at me kind of crazy because, around this point I'm like 5'2", maybe 100 pounds. So they kind of looked at me crazy, and they were like, "You sure this is what you want to do?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Absolutely. I want to go out there. I'll just give it a try. And, if it doesn't work, I'll just stick to basketball." And I fell in love with the game ever since my first day of practice, and just continued to get better every year, and kept growing in love for it. And I'm at this point right now where I'm in a position to live out my dream of being an NFL player that I dreamt about since that moment that I knew I really wanted to play football.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And, growing up, did you have a favorite player in the NFL?
Oh, yeah. My favorite player was Charles Woodson. That dude was so fun to watch, just the way he attacks the football and creates turnovers and get in the end zone. And actually, I also like watching Randy Moss and Terrell Owens because, at the time, those were the receivers everybody looked at. I wanted to play receiver when I first started football because I wanted to get in the end zone just like them and celebrate and be a comedian like Chad Johnson and all those other guys. I always wanted to be a receiver just for that. And my high school coaches put me at corner, and they said you can't play receiver. So that's how I started playing corner, and just kind of grew on that.
Yeah, and, obviously after high school, you went on to play at Southern Methodist. What was the main factor for you in choosing to play there?
I think the main factor was being close to home, allowing my family and friends to come out and support and catch some games, some live college football action, because I was the first college player in my family to play football. So I think it was a really good experience to have my friends come out and my family. They 30 minutes away from me. It felt like home to me. I love the atmosphere. It was playing in Dallas, Texas. Grew up my whole life in Dallas, so I think it was a really, really good experience. And it was kind of an easy choice for me, just because of those factors.
Yeah, of course. And, playing at SMU, I mean, you must have had, so many great, moments, plays that stand out in your mind, games, memories. But what is your absolute favorite?
My absolute favorite was probably breaking the all-time defensive touchdowns record for SMU. I never scored a defensive touchdown in high school. And I told some of my friends from back home, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna break some records at SMU. That's something I believe, and I put my hard work in it. And we played UCF my junior year, and I was able to take a pick six to the house and break the all-time record. And it was a really special moment for me because I knew I had worked hard, and I knew back then I was going to do something special at SMU. And, to have that special moment with my teammates, with my family, that was great.
Yeah, I was just about to, ask you about that. What, breaking that record, what was going through your head when that happened? Did you know that happened right away? Was it kind of a goal that you had set for yourself? Or was it one of those things where you kind of went to the sideline and they told you that you had broken it?
So early in the season, I had scored 2 touchdowns against SFA. And I wasn't aware that I had tied the school record for most defensive touchdowns. So when I found out that in the first game of the season, it was kind of in the back of my mind. I was like, it's going to be awesome to get a pick six, but I wasn't going to try to force it. I was just going to let it come when it needed to. And when I got that record touchdown, I knew it all the way, and that's why I thank God and just pointed up to the sky, and because it was a very special moment. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it, even though I did score. Like when I did score, I still couldn't believe it, and I just had to find a way, kind of celebrate for a little bit and get back on defense because we got right back. We got right back on defense 2 plays later. So I know I kind of celebrated, and then I had to kind of lock back in and finish the game. And that's when we played UCF. It was a tough loss, but it was a heck of a game.
Yeah, it's funny because, you started off this podcast like, well, I wanted to be a receiver because I wanted to get in the end zone. And it looked like you just kind of got tired of waiting, so you decided to start getting in the end zone as a corner.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you because, playing at SMU, you went up against some top-notch competition for sure. Right. Who would you say is the toughest player you went up against?
You want to talk about overall or just in the games?
Yeah, the toughest player that you went up against throughout your college career.
Cortland Sutton. That was my man. We were roommates, but it's evident that this man he put in the hard work. We grew up together. We knew we grew through SMU, and we knew that we wanted to live our dreams of being in the NFL, and we push each other every day. We use the motto iron sharpens iron. So, I mean, you saw it on Sundays this past season with the Broncos. He had a heck of a rookie year, and he's a freak. He's 6'4", 225. He can move, and big body receiver. But I've gone against plenty of talented receivers that are now in the NFL, like Anthony Miller and Zay Jones, and all them dudes, Trey Quinn. So, like you said, I've gone against some pretty tough competition, but I still think Cortland the best one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't remember who it was, but we had another guy on the show who named Cortland as the toughest guy they went up against as well. Definitely very talented receiver, that's for sure. But you had your pro day. How did that go?
It went good. It went real good. Started off pretty well. Kind of had some little injury bugs that kind of limited me a little bit. I had strained my pec a couple weeks before the bench press, but I did. The training staff for SMU was able to help me out and make sure that my pec was strong enough to compete. And still got 20 reps on the bench press. I don't know how. I really don't know how with the strained pec. That just shows you how well the SMU training staff did. And I had strained my hamstring a couple weeks before as well, and it kind of pulled again a little bit when I ran my 40. But I knew this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So training staff did a great job again. They got me a compression hamstring sleeve and another pair of tights, and I was able to, finish my pro day with a strong performance. So, overall, I really wish I would have been 100% for my pro day, but I can't complain about the numbers I put up because, with all the injuries. So I was content with it.
Yeah, Jordan, normally you want to get, like, the rule of thumb as a corner, you want to bench press at least double digits, right?
Right.
Well, 20 is insane.
Yeah.
That's a feat right there in itself.
Yeah.
So, congrats on that, because that's big time. You know, you got some pop behind those pads. So,
right.
That's definitely, but I wanted to ask you, just watching your game, I can see some names that come to mind, but I can't really, I don't know, I can't just give anybody a comparison. I
Right.
kind of have to, dig into it. And if I don't have a comparison, I'm not going to force one.
Right.
Is there anybody that you modeled your game after?
I kind of modeled my game a little bit after, Charles Woodson, Tyrann Mathieu growing up. When he was at LSU, I always wanted to get takeovers just like him because it just seemed like every time the ball is loose on defense, it's because of Tyrann Mathieu. And I watched Marcus Peters, the way, his first 2 years at Kansas City, how he just, led the NFL in back-to-back seasons and interceptions. I kind of looked at the guys that took away the ball a lot because I knew I'm at a smaller school. I don't get the publicity like the SECs and the ACCs and the Power 5 schools. So I kind of looked at guys who took away the ball a lot because I knew that's what I had to do at SMU. So those are the three guys I kind of looked after and kind of took some of this stuff and implemented it in my game.
Absolutely. And, in your opinion, what do you bring to the table that no other cornerback in this draft brings?
I think I bring the ability to take over. I bring my playmaking skills. Anytime my team needed me to make a play, they always knew I'd come through and make a play. Rather that's forcing a fumble, breaking up a pass, or getting a pick and changing the ball game. And I bring toughness. I tore my labrum for a game of the season. During the game, I knew it popped out and it was dislocated, and I popped it right back in. I just still went back in and finished the game. Had a heck of a game, and I bring leadership. I feel like I'm a great leader. My teammates voted me captain multiple years, and that's a huge honor for me because that let me know that my teammates respect me and what I do and the way I lead. So I try to lead positively on and off the field every day. And I think that's what I bring to the table.
That's fantastic, man. Absolutely love that. What would you say is your biggest strength as a player? If you had to kind of just take everything that you're, well-versed in, what would you say is your biggest strength?
My instincts. I know there's literally plays where if a receiver lined up, I just get this feeling that this route is coming or that route is coming or this play is coming. I just trust my instincts. I just go out there and play ball, and people are looking at me as an aggressive corner, and that's good. And I know I get double move route a lot, so I'm a smart football player as well because I know if I jump, one route one time, that I'm expecting a double move. That way I don't give up a cheap touchdown. And I'll say my instincts is kind of my biggest strength, and just taking that ball away.
Yeah, and as the draft approaches, is there anything that you're looking to improve on at all?
Yeah, I'm just looking to sharpen my technique. I'm working on my high school coach, working with my trainers from back home, and because at this next level, it's all about technique. And, you gotta be a professional about it. That's what you're getting selected in the draft for, to be a professional and to execute what needs to be executed at the highest level. So my high school coach, he played a little bit of ball for Jacksonville and the Ravens, and he's done a great job of just coaching me up and making sure that I work on my craft every day and that it's sharp.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man, 100%. And just kind of switching gears a little bit, we want to be ask a little bit more of a fun question here.
Yeah.
Which wide receiver do you most want to cover in the NFL?
I'll tell you who I don't want to cover. It's Tyreek Hill. I mean, he need to be in the Olympics. He too fast. It doesn't make no sense how you are that fast and you're in the NFL. Like, he needs to be run by Usain. He needs to be running with all these fastest dudes.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm looking forward to all the matchups. I'm a competitor. I've been watching film on all the great receivers, the Julios, the ABs, the Tyreek Hills, Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. I watch film on all of them, and it's really fun to watch because I know that I'll be going against some guys, and sure, they're doing that at the highest level. And if you want to stick out in the NFL, you got to perform well against them. So I'm excited to get the opportunity to go against all of them. And I really don't care. I just think I'm just a competitor. I'm just gonna go out there. I'm gonna have fun and try to make plays against them.
Absolutely. And, what you said about Tyreek Hill, I couldn't agree more. But, is there a quarterback that you most want to pick off in the NFL?
If I can get Tom Brady one time before he retires, that'd be great. Just to have a little bragging rights, and I picked off Tom Brady. But it's going to take a lot of luck and being at the right place at the right time and hoping he throws it, because he doesn't throw too many interceptions. So, him, Aaron Rodgers, just picking off the greats, the top 5 quarterbacks, the Hall of Fame quarterbacks. That's kind of something I want to do. And I know they're not just going to give me gifts. It might take a couple of years to finally get all of them, but as long as I get Brady first before he retires, I'll be good.
Yeah, and you'll just have to worry about when you take it to the house not to do anything like throw it into the stands or anything.
Oh, yeah. I can't do that. Cause you can't celebrate that much in college, but in NFL, you get a little bit more freedom to celebrate with the teammates and all that good stuff. So I got to make sure I avoid those fines and those penalties. Do some shenanigans.
Oh no, I mean you're just gonna want to hold on to that football.
Oh yeah. No, it's definitely sure. I'm gonna find a way to get that to the crib right after I get
it, and then maybe get it signed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So we are a Rams-based podcast, so I have to ask you: have you met with the Los Angeles Rams yet, or spoken with them throughout this process?
I've met with them at the Shrine game, but that was the only point. That was the only time I could think I met with them.
Well, we love to hear that you talk to them there because we are fans of you, and we love to see you end up in the Rams. But no matter where you go, we're going to follow your career and be cheering you on for sure. Yeah, of course. And just to, wrap this up, in your own words, who is Jordan Wyatt as a player and who is he as a person?
Jordan Wyatt as a player, he's a great leader. He's going to make sure that he's the hardest worker. He's always going to be on time. You don't have to worry about him on or off the field. He's going to bring playmaking ability. He's going to be where he needs to be. He's going to execute. And he's going to strive for greatness every day. Not just during the game. He's going to strive for greatness. During the season, in the off season, I'm always going to be working to be great. So I can, be in the Hall of Fame as well, and hopefully get a couple of Super Bowls with some great teams. And as a player, I feel like I'm a dependable dude, someone that's trustworthy. Like I said, you don't have to worry about me off the field. I'm a great guy. I'm fun to be around. I love life. I love hanging out. I'm spiritual. I always put God first because He's blessed me to be even in this situation, and it's very humbling. And I can't thank Him enough for allowing me to be in this situation. Because I don't know, I don't deserve it, but he's a merciful guy. He's great. He's grateful, and I'm grateful for him.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you don't deserve it, man. You sound like an awesome dude. It's been, great, interviewing you, having you on here. We appreciate it, Jordan, because we know you are a busy man, and you have that goal in mind of getting the NFL, and it's coming, man. But just keep what you're doing. Keep stay healthy, and let's stay in touch, Jordan.
Definitely. Thank y'all for having me, man. Thank y'all.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jordan.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Joining the podcast, we have USC cornerback Isaiah Langley. How's it going, man? Thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, of course. And just to start this thing off, we just want to hear a little bit about how you got into the game of football.
Well, football has obviously always been a large part of my life. I think I started playing when I was 2 years old. My father, apparently I came home with a flyer in elementary school, and my dad asked me if I want to play football. I said, yeah, why not? It's just, you get, give me something to do. So I guess in that following year, he signed me up for football, and ever since then, it's kind of tipped off. I traveled around and found, different teams, different coaches, kind of put me in the best position to, continue my career to, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, of course. And growing up, did you have a favorite NFL player?
I wouldn't say I have a favorite. I mean, I watched a lot of football growing up, obviously. But I'd probably say being in elementary and high school, I would definitely say college players. I really looked at the college players a little more than the NFL because they play with a little more passion, I felt like. NFL is great and all, but, college, you're doing it for free, and they're doing it because you love the game. I feel like those players, I really look up to those players, growing up. But, having a favorite player, the one doesn't particularly stick out, but, I've watched, obviously the Bay Area too. That's where I'm from, so.
Yeah, definitely. And, when it came time for you to play in college, you picked USC. What was the main factor for you in choosing them?
It was kind of it was a bunch of things going on during that time. Going back to 5 years ago when I'm a little junior, I'm 17 years old, turning 18. You're making a decision that's going to change your life. So just being young, and, looking at USC, looking at the Heisman Trophy, and all the good times that USC had, it was an easy decision for me. It wasn't much thinking. Obviously, Cal, the people there, teams like Cal, going down south to Southern California, like UCLA, USC, but USC was the easy pick.
Yeah, it sounds to me like, you made your commitment like live on TV. I went through, I read that article that Bleacher Report put out, a while ago, because I'm a fan of USC. So, I remember, the final hours before, you were committing, and, how, Bryce Love was your roommate.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's pretty awesome, man. You got such a great story. If you wouldn't mind, I'd love if you could share some of that with my audience.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, being a highly touted athlete in the country, you get invited to all these different games, all these different camps. And I was fortunate enough to go to that combine, and I wanted to do my commitment during that time because my cousin, he's in Calhoun. The following year, he did his commitment. I just thought that was the coolest thing. I'm saying, just listen to the older guys, and I just wanted to kind of follow the footsteps, especially being from the Bay Area, and he's already kind of paved the way. So I already had my mind set, that I wanted to commit there, and with or without a USC offer. But going there, just competing with all those good athletes, it was a hell of an experience, man. Just going out there and just playing ball and doing what you love in front of everybody with like-minded guys. Like you said, Bryce Love was my roommate, and he came from an awesome family. I actually saw him this week at the Raiders local pro day, and it's just I've been seeing his face for the last 5 years, competing back and forth on the field, and and going back to like the combine, like you said. But it's just those little things that I got to experience. Just growing up and being recruited. I'm very best to be in this position right now.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. And, you at USC, I'm sure that you had a lot of amazing moments and amazing games and, great times. But is there a particular moment, maybe a favorite play or a favorite game or just a favorite memory overall from your time at USC?
Yeah, of course. Over the 4 years I've been there, there's a lot of high moments. There were some lows too, but to go off the high moments, I guess you say my sophomore year and my junior year were definitely our better years there. I think going back to our junior year, I think the Pac-12, or I'm sorry, was that sophomore? I'm sorry, I didn't junior. Go ahead and go to the Pac-12 and playing against Stanford that year. That was a great experience right there. And I was just, very, very fortunate enough to play in that game and, compete against those guys. It was just definitely a great feeling, putting SC back on the top where they belong, So I think the following the year before that, we went to Pac-12 also. Or no, we didn't. We actually missed out, but we did go to the Rose Bowl, and and we come off the high, but just to win the Pac-12 right after that, that's just, that's a great thing. That's great.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that Rose Bowl game was just magnificent. It was huge for USC. Like you said, putting them back up where they belong. I want to ask you, because obviously playing in the Pac-12, you went up against so many, NFL prospects. But I want to ask you, who was the toughest player you went up against in college?
Oh, man. That's tough. I'll probably say my own teammates just going to practice, going out and lacing up. It's tough. That's people don't know what we go through, throughout the week, preparing for the game. And, I think going against my wide receivers, not only my wide receivers, but the corners next to me, like Jack Jones and Imam Marshall, they just really just brought the best out of me. But I'll probably say outside of my team, competing against Stanford and Notre Dame, I think those wide receivers, they were bigger wide receivers and they know how to play ball. And I think that's the major difference between, a lot of other schools who just play X or whatever. But playing Stanford and Notre Dame are definitely, big games, in my opinion. And that brought the best out of me. Brought the best out of my team.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely agree with that. And, you had your pro day somewhat recently. How was that?
Pro day went very well. It went very well. Pro day is cool and all, but, we've been doing t-shirts and shorts since, like I said, it's just middle school, just high school, 707, doing drills, like I said. So, if you get nervous in t-shirts and shorts, then we're gonna have a big problem, going to the next level. But like I said, it was a good experience, and I'm just enjoying the process, and I can't wait for the future holds.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It must have been cool, being with your teammates. I mean, we did interview, Cameron. So, that just think that's obviously, really cool. And, USC, I mean, just constantly putting in talent in the NFL, it's just, something like that is huge. But I want to ask you because I'm really interested in that Raiders local pro day you mentioned. What does something like that entail? Kind of, take me through the process of a local team pro day.
Okay, yeah. It's pretty much a private invitation for all the local guys, whether you went to school out here as far as college, so like San Jose State, Stanford, Cal, UC Davis, all those schools in the Bay Area or close to the Bay Area, or you've grown up here. So obviously I've grown up here in Hayward, California. So, the Niners and the Raiders invited me for a private local pro day over here. So pretty much what we do there is similar to our pro day. We, do our time. We want to center the numbers. I set my numbers because, like I said, I thought I had a strong pro day. So, I just did my drills, and it's very hands-on. The coaches are out there, the head coach is out there, and they just assess, the guys just playing ball. That's pretty much what it is. And, hopefully we get some interest, certain guys getting interest with certain coaches, and, we take from there. It's just another part of the recruiting process. I kind of feel like I'm going over the same thing that I did in high school, just get recruited to go to the next level.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like a cool experience for sure. And, this next question, I'm just curious to know if there's an answer to or not, but is there any player that you've modeled your game after or anyone who you look up to at that cornerback position who you've tried to, incorporate elements of their game into your own?
Yeah, growing up, I used to, like I said, I used to look up to a lot of college players, like one of them was the Honey Badger. I thought the Honey Badger was such a tenacious player. He's such an aggressive, smaller player. And I wasn't that big. I'm 6 foot, but, I'm weighing about 180, 185 pounds. And, it's similar to Tyrann Mathieu, just a slightly undersized corner, and, just playing a position where he can show so much aggression and, just make things on the field. So, I really appreciated him growing up. But now I wouldn't say I mimic my game after a particular player. It's just, if I like certain things, I put them in my toolbox. I like to use different techniques. But, just being a technician, I like to watch a lot of film and learn from what I did wrong or learn from other players how they did it, how they played certain teams, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, there's no particular player that made my game after, but, I like to take certain tools and add it to my toolbox.
Yeah, I like the way you explain that. With that being said, what do you bring to the table that no other cornerback in this draft brings?
Oh, I think just my preparation and being efficient. Being efficient at what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to talk too much about myself. If you're good enough, other people are going to do talking for you. You know what I'm saying? But that's just a few things that I just like to throw out there.
Yeah, and just to one more question, I guess about yourself. But I was going to ask, what do you think your biggest strength as a player is?
I think the ability to learn a scheme, pick up the scheme, and diagnose teams, and put that on the field. I think that's the most important part, and I really take advantage of that throughout the week. Like I said, people really don't understand what we go through on a weekly basis, especially as a college athlete. Going to school and trying to find time to watch film and practicing every day, coming out and putting the best foot forward in practice. So, not only you get better, but your teammates get better. And, I think I really take pride in my preparation. That's something very important to me. And that's definitely going to carry over to the next level.
So, Isaiah, you would say that video that the NCAA put out wouldn't represent, a day in the life of a student athlete?
Oh, man. No comment. No comment. Yeah. I did. It was a little controversial over that tweet that they put out, but no comment.
Yeah, no, I get it. I was a student athlete myself and had a lot of thoughts about it. But, as the draft approaches, what is something that you're looking to improve on?
One more time, say that again. You kind of cutting out.
As the draft approaches, what's one thing that you're looking to improve on?
Well, the biggest thing really just getting in the system and is kind of getting under, somebody's wing. Preferably a veteran who's been there for a while and maybe even a quarterback. Just kind of learn from them and it's kind of, it's kind of learn the system. But as soon as I get picked up, wherever I go, I'm planning on moving in. I'm planning on staying there until the season's over. So, I'll be improving on, just simple techniques and gaining weight and stronger than actually, football stuff. Football, it's nothing much to it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Got to ask you, some fun questions here. Talking about the NFL, which wide receiver do you most want to cover in the NFL?
You said what wide receiver do I want to cover? I think Juju. That's my guy, man. That's my guy. He's tearing it up. He's doing very well for himself and for this organization. And he definitely got a better player. I just want to compete with him. And, if I could compete with him, I could still hang. We were former teammates, and I used to go against him all the time. So, it'll be a friendly battle, and I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I love that answer. And, I might have a bit of an idea who the answer to this next question is, but what quarterback would you most want to pick off in the NFL? Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's all friendly competition. But at the end of the day, whatever I can do to help my team out, whether that is picking the ball off or, just saving a touchdown pass, whatever it is, whatever I can contribute to a team, I'm more than happy to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And with us being a Rams-based podcast, we have to ask: have you met or spoken with the Los Angeles Rams throughout this draft process?
I spoke with the local scout, but nothing more than that. But I imagine being a local guy, there may be a little interest, but you never know. And this draft process is it's a tough, rigorous process, especially at this time right here, because a lot of anxiety is built up, a lot of attention, a lot of excitement is being built up. Leading up to this draft, and no one knows how this is going to go. No one. So I'm just excited just to be just have my name talked about at the next level, man. It's such an honor, and I'm just blessed to be in this situation right now.
Of course, yeah. Definitely, agree with your answer, and do like to hear that you have talked to the Rams a bit because obviously we're big fans of you and also big Rams fans. But no matter where you end up, Jake and I are going to be fans of you for life and cheering you on because we know that you're going to do big things at the NFL level. So that's for sure. But just to, wrap it up in your own words, who is Isaiah Langley as a player and who is he as a person?
As a person, I'm a family-oriented, loving, caring individual. But as a player, man, that flip terms, and I become a beast. But like I said, I don't really like to really talk much about myself. If I'm good, there will be other people talking about me. So, it is what it is. And I'm in a position right now where I have to earn everything. So, and I understand that, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, I think you definitely hit the nail on the head. One thing I'll bring up is, a guy that received some interest, but not a ton of interest throughout the draft process was Utah cornerback Dominic Hatfield. Now, Hatfield was from the LA area. The Rams ended up throwing him into, as a last-second addition to their mini camp, their rookie mini camp tryout, and he's on the roster today. So, never say never to that. Just throwing that out there. But, regardless if you're a Ram or, whatever team that you're on, like Alexis said, we will be rooting for you, man. We really appreciate you, taking time out of your schedule to do this interview with us. Big fans. Obviously, key is stay healthy, but good luck the rest of the way. And let's stay in touch, Isaiah.
No doubt. I appreciate that, Jay.
Yeah, you have a good one, Isaiah.
Okay, you too. All right.
Later, man.
Appreciate it. You guys have a good one.